We're live. Okay, so welcome, Cham. Uh, we're here for a very special topic here in Real Talk Lifeline. So we're all about real, raw, and authentic conversations. And the topic for today, I reached out to Cham, is this. So we're gonna have a battle. It's about the truth about relationships from the perspective of a girl. That's why Cham is here and the perspective of a guy. So all I can speak is from my own personal experience, which is why I invited Cham to be here. So everyone watching the live or the replay, you can comment down below. If you have comments, you have questions, they're welcome. So we're here to answer them. Also share your own experience. Maybe your own perspective on relationships is super different from mine and from Cham's also, right? So we'll fire away. We'll start first. So we'll give a quick intro, an introduction, like who are we? Who is this guy over here? Who's this girl over here? So for Cham, like I could start. I could start first. What's my background? So my experience when it comes to everyone's favorite topic about relationships is yeah, I grew up and I had my first one when I was in first or second year high school. So I think I was like 14 or 15 years old that time, right? Not the fastest, there were people who were meeting girls back then in grade 5 as early as that. So like 12 years old. I was kind of a mid bloomer. Some of you may have bloomed later. So we're getting some people watching already. Hi, Mavic. So over here on the screen, comment
Hi,
down
Maverick.
below or ask questions on the topic of relationships. So I got some experience there. I had a 1 year relationship that was serious, and then after that, I had a long one, a 9 year relationship from third year high school, 5 years of college, my first job. So that's my experience so far on the topic. I can share more later if you guys have questions. How we met Cham, I think we crossed paths, which is why I have this notebook. This was in 2002, I believe. We were taking this level 2 seminar with Coach Bam, Beingness, and Cham flew all the way from Cebu because I'm here based
Yay.
in Metro Manila. So by the way, comment down below where you guys are watching from because not everyone is from Manila, right? Necessarily. And Cham, makes me realize that too, coming from Cebu. And then we crossed paths. We were doing our personal development, like level 2. And then so far, this is just a quick background of what I have on relationships. And I invited Cham because I was super curious. What's it like on the girl side, right? Because the guy side could be super different on the topic of relationships. So, Cham, what's like a quick background for you on the topic or where you're coming from?
Thanks, Marty, and good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our friends who are viewing right now, Mavic as well as Jovi. So, thank you, Martin, for inviting me here. This is so abrupt and out of the blue, to be honest. Okay, so it's just fun, and this afternoon we're just gonna be talking as me as Champ and Martin as Martin. Okay, so this is like a chica moment. Just we're just being us, and while you guys are also listening. Okay, I said yes to Martin because the topic is very interesting, and I guess I'm on my spontaneous state at the moment. I said, okay, yes, go. All right, so I'm Cham, by the way, guys, for those who don't know me. So I'm a creative entrepreneur. I call myself as the dream maker as well. So I do some passion project and I do love coaching. So I love creative stuff. I love teaching people as well. And I've met Martin. uh, He mentioned from beingness. So we are in the same life guide family, but I've seen Martin online already for like quite some time with BAM before we met personally. And during the actual live workshop beingness, okay, we've interacted and somehow helped each other in one part of the program that we got really, I don't know, we just felt, I just felt my perspective, I just felt connected, and more comfortable with Martin and the rest of the team as well. So, is there anything else I need to say, Martin?
Well, on your experience on
Ah,
relationship, so yeah,
okay.
if you have any background, maybe you have been in one or multiple or long ones like that, just on
All
the
right.
topic.
All right. So the topic is about long-term relationship, as what Martin invited me about. So the first question he asked, have you experienced long-term relationship ever? I said, romantically. The question, romantically, so I need to be
Any,
specific. I said, yes.
yeah,
Okay, so I am a late bloomer in terms of romantic relationship as well, because I grew up in a more traditional family background, more conservative. So I was focused on finishing my studies and finding a job and etc. I don't have time to entertain guy. I don't know, or it's just not my priority even until now. So,
okay.
but I've met someone. So I only had one serious relationship, and it lasted for 5 years as well. So there's I met this person on a workshop as well. So I think I think it's evident that my type of guys are smart. Guys, I know I'm what do you call this? I'm already giving my my preferences. I really love guys who are smart and leadership type there. So
Okay.
yeah, and it did not went well after 5 years just because of I think pandemic and there and the story ended.
Was it because of the pandemic or was it something else? Like over 5 years?
Well, it's I think the pandemic really pushed us to separate ways.
Ah,
On
okay.
my perspective, I don't know about the guy's perspective, but on my end, it was really about the difficulty with having the relationship ongoing despite the distance, and also having our own personal battles. Me in Cebu taking care of my mom who had breast cancer at the moment, and the other
Yeah.
dude as well with his business and stuff. There.
Okay. So I'm learning a lot from Cham because some people think this topic is just about relationships, but Cham mentioned about her mother, and around that time, I don't know if it was beingness, that was 2022. You were already going through um your family, you were going through loss, you were going through deep stuff, no, which I value. Like I'm learning from everyone here. My parents are still alive and together, but not everyone's the same, right? So I'm learning from everyone over here. So people have been commenting, by the way, Cham. People have they're not just from Manila, BGC, they're from far places. So Camarines Norte, that's down towards Bicol, um, Iloilo, Jovi, and some are from Metro Manila. So on the topic here of relationships, Chandra shared a lot of her background, and 5 years is long. I would say
It
sometimes
is.
1 year, 2 years is long already, right? So it's sometimes it's like a lifetime or a phase in your life, right? So the next thing we're flowing into here is, since we're talking about relationships here, Cham, no, and you got fans over here watching, right?
Hi
So
guys.
thank you
Thanks for
everyone
watching.
watching for the support. No? So relationships. My question here is, what's the definition of a relationship for you? Like how it works, right? Because we have in culturally we have a stereotype, right? How it works. Of course, now we're in a very open and evolving, you know, society, community, whatever your background is. I love you. I accept you. So for you, Cham, what's your definition of a relationship?
All right, thank you, Martin. I think my definition of relationship has changed over time, especially
Yes.
when I am getting older. Um,
Mm.
not by the face though, but by age. So, and through experiences as well. So, For now, my definition of a relationship is something, an agreement between two
Agree.
or more individuals to be connected. Okay, and it needs to be defined like what kind of agreement is that. It could be romantic, it could be work, it could be friendship, it could be colleague or acquaintance. So that's my definition of relationship. How about you, Martin?
All right, that's a really good one. So it's not just romantic, as Cham said. It could be business, right? It could
True.
be you said something else aside from business and romantic. There was another one.
Friendship,
Friendship. Yeah, there you
even
go.
acquaintance. Not
Yes,
super close friends, but acquaintance.
correct, correct. And by the way, I'm not sure because Cham mentioned there was a part here in the level two. It's like a leadership seminar, but higher level type. So they have like a buddy system or a partner system at times. So Cham really helped me actually. And a part I got stuck because this was 3 days. I think this was on day two or something like that. So yeah, so this one, like Cham, on the topic of relationships, uh, I'll go a little historical. So the way I grew up in an all boys school, like grade school, high school, and then the way I saw relationships back then was, again, I'm in an all boys school. And
Mhm.
aside from like the guys who are hiding or coming out of the closet, stereotypically a guy would, you know, go on like a soiree or like a prom or like a soft night or something like that, sophomore night. So you meet the girl and then, you get to know. That was the very stereotypical or cultural way of how a relationship works. So that's what I thought. So I got into a relationship with a girl. I had no idea how it works. And this is just the guy's perspective. Because I'm into guns. Later on, I got into motorcycles. I believe that guns, motorcycles, and girls have something in common. So I believe that they're all lethal if you don't understand how they work. So if you don't believe me, right, you just look up Romeo and Juliet, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I got into it, and then yeah, I it was pretty tough for me because I didn't know how it worked. I'm jumping ahead, but my definition of relationship back then was you just spend a lot of time together,
Mhm.
and then you grow up together, which I still believe in. But a part of me which I didn't understand was like codependence.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I didn't like. I'm already sharing how my evolution of a
Mhm.
relationship was. I also didn't like this thing in culture. They do what they do, shipping.
Mhm.
So it's like relationshipping. They try to pair people against their will. So I'm already clearly defining that against their will. If you wanted to go into it right, consenting, then no problem. Like you really wanted it. And then yeah, I did try again like 9 years, right, which was long. So the first one was psychological because I have nothing but love for my ex to this day. But back then I had no idea what bipolar was and all these things, right, were. So I just felt like I went through a basic instinct, that movie with Sharon Stone. This is just my perspective. Her perspective could be very wrong, and I have nothing but love. So no regrets. And the 9 years, the one after 9 years was more of emotional. So
Mhm.
that's where I had to learn like codependence. It was a test also of my character of what unconditional love was. Because unconsciously, like I could be there for her in her lowest moments. And there were maybe two or three times we almost broke up, and that was it. Pero there was something inside me where like I was in my lowest moment on that last ninth year, and she wasn't there, like she moved on. So I felt like I kind of felt abandoned, you know. So but again, it's a test of my character, because is that love truly unconditional? Because is it unconditional if I expect? So I'm the guy right here, just sharing. So it was tough, you know. So yeah, I didn't know what emotional health was, depression, anxiety was. So in 2014 to today, 2024, it took me 10 years just to get closure. And I finally got it last Feb. So,
Mhm.
you know, been a big deal for me. I finally got it, and it's better. So moving forward, I agree with Cham on relationships. The thing that I'm learning though, just on my guy side before we move forward, is I've heard of different terms like open relationships, polyamorous, like all these other terms. I'm not like some people say polygamous, like you have multiple partners, but again, from my experience here, and again, just comment down below as Cham mentioned here if you have questions. What do you believe in? Are you a monogamous type, like one man, one woman, or whatever your partner is, right? Are you the type who can have, you love people? I met someone, he's a guy, and he says I love you to me. Because
Mhm.
it's kind of less common for someone coming from an all boys background for guys to say I love you, right? Or to hug each other. I think I know maybe
Agree.
one or two people who I can do that with, Mark and Gilly. So yeah, so far that's the evolution of how I understand relationships. The last thing I would share is if you do have a common, you have common values or like a common objective, then I think that's how a relationship would work. Because back in the day, people got married for we have one question coming up, Cham, but I'll end with this. Back in the day, people would get married for economic reasons.
True.
And the way I was conditioned growing up, I thought that was bad, right? Like you have to do it for love, right? Religion. But even arranged marriages, like Chinese, Indian, I was super against it. And then I met some people who it actually works for them. So why would I judge, right? So
Agree.
back to you, Cham. Like
Mhm.
there's a question here, but you might want to share something first, right?
Yeah, before I go with the question, I just want to say thank you to you, Martin, for sharing your
Hmm.
personal side about your evolution of relationship. I just want to
Yeah.
point out as well, I think I got something. Uh, I think I just wanted to reiterate that's why I defined relationship as an agreement between two or more individuals because we have to, for me, I have to respect other people's understanding and definition of relationship, like as what you've mentioned. They could be married because of economic reason, arranged marriage, religion as well. It could be one reason of being in a monogamous relationship of polygamy. So we have to respect on that, but on my personal perspective and values as well, I really into one-on-one, and I'm more into long-term relationship. Hold on.
No problem.
Ano
I'll
ba
be
naman
taking
to?
a sip for Cham
This is
also.
normal.
Go
Thanks,
for it.
Martin. So, um, so what I'm trying to say here is that we cannot judge anybody based on how they experience relationship, love, any kind of relationship. It's up for us to experience what we need to experience in life for us to learn and how we use that experiences in order for us to grow. And I think I am and more open and even enjoying creating relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, whatever, because I've put myself into this personal development space, like you, like as Martin, right? In beingness, it really opened me up and being more comfortable of knowing myself. And by knowing myself, it helped me as well into reaching out to people, not being needy, but being more of a giver. So that's how I see relationship now. At this age, and I share this with my friends as well. We always say it's so hard to get into a relationship right now during your mid 30s. I don't know. We always think, is there something wrong with us, girls? But I think it's just really about building and knowing the standards that we want to experience in a committed relationship, not just accepting anybody just because we want to be in a relationship. And I think that's about self-worth and knowing ourselves. And ang hirap, minsan, hindi siya naman siya mahirap, but I have this tendency to be like, if the guy cannot meet up with my standards and my personality, if they do not match about with my energy and my ability to give love, ibig sabihin nun, they're not for me. And I have to say bye-bye to them. Yun lang. So probably I'll end up to be single for life, and it's okay because I can take care of myself, and like I have friends as well and family to take care of me if ever. I don't feel lonely if I should, yeah, I'm not lonely. There.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so someone, Mavic just commented, don't worry, we will be answering your questions here. I didn't forget you. So what Cham just shared, while you guys are reading that comment, is I went on a roller coaster ride of emotions, because Mavic can relate to you, and maybe it's hard for some girls out there, right, in their 30s or older, to get into a relationship. So part of me is sad. I feel sad, but then I'm like 37, so for a guy, um, I feel relief actually at times not being in a relationship, because I came from a
Mhm.
long one, which is as long as some marriages are, right? So I'm coming from a different place. Hopefully, you get, two perspectives here, and you have your own that you can share. So speaking of, like, with Cham, because you've been in one, you've been in a relationship 5 years, right? And we're
Mhm.
getting comments over here. I did not forget you. Let's answer one question over here from the comments. So,
Hi, Coach Hench. They're my friends.
yes, and it's a really good question. How girls and boys cope with the breakup. So, do you want to start, Cham, or I could share something on this? Yeah.
You can start because I think mine's gonna be funny, so I'll end up the answer with something funny. Go, Martin.
Okay, okay. So mine might be the serious one. So how to cope. So one thing I'm learning is from one of my mentors. So Cham mentioned personal development. So this was a guy in 2014, and it's hard for me to say this, but again, we're all about real, raw, and authentic conversations here in Real Talk Lifeline. So I learned from a pickup artist. So Owen Cook, he's one of the guys in the book The Game by Neil Strauss. So what I like about him is he focused on personal development, not just like on dating only. So he has this term, coping versus thriving. Coping is like if you were destroyed, you're just trying to get back to zero. That's
Mhm.
what coping is. Like I don't like how I feel, I just want to cope. Thriving, and other mentors like Mac Atram, if you've attended the Millionaire Mind Intensive, like that, thriving is you still keep growing. It's like abundance, or you grow beyond coping, right? Because how many of you have heard this saying, you're either growing or you're dying? So coping is like you're just trying to reach zero again, like that.
Mhm.
No. So again, if your definition is different, I respect it. I'm learning from you as well. So coping versus thriving. So there was a point where I never wanted to be in a relationship again, right? I think that's coping, right? Because one thing I've been trying to do since 2014 is to heal, and I didn't know this until later on, like 2018, further. So the root of it is actually deeper trauma, or like unresolved demons. It's like
Mhm.
your shadow, when you do shadow work. So yeah, I mean, the way I did it was, just to keep it short, after 2014, I was just like falling into the abyss. I was lost in life. I tried to work, and I did achieve and make money, right? You could become a millionaire literally, like $1 million round table.
Mhm.
Then I felt like jumping off a building in 2018. So that's when my personal development journey started. I don't know, Cham mentioned this some years earlier, before 2022. So mine started in 2018. T. Harvecker, Tony Robbins. I went on an ayahuasca ceremony. I drank some plant medicine. I got into ice baths in 2021. And I'm still continuing the healing process. So it's like a lifelong process or journey. That's what I learned. Now, going back to relationships, I became more open. But that's the difference, I guess, with me and Cham. Sometimes we can close ourselves up, but if you do open yourself up again, and this is hard for Cham to hear, you can get hurt. Like you can get hurt again. So I respect and understand if you never wanna do it again. But I just open again in a more evolved understanding. Like I'm not gonna just hook, line, and sinker get into another relationship that's codependent, right? And break my heart or her heart because I'm learning, right? So mine has been like a 10-year journey of healing, and I'm slowly opening up. But yeah, it's a more mature understanding of how to handle a breakup because it might happen again, right? So how about you, Cham?
Wow, that's deep. Thank you so much, Martin, for sharing that. Guys, okay lang ba kayo? Okay, sa mga nakaka-relate diyan, mga
Take a deep
na-heartbreak,
breath.
take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. All right. So sometimes we just have to
Let it go.
deal with life. That's reality, right? I've also had
Yeah.
my time of grieving with my only relationship. All right. So how did
Hmm.
I cope up with it? So I cannot generalize as a female because I am me, and I feel like
Yeah.
I am a mixture of both masculine and feminine energy. More on the masculine nga minsan. Kaya minsan ang hirap din humanap ng partner because I'm really
Mm.
high with the masculine energy. So um so how did I cope up?
Yeah.
Well, some people they jump into a relationship right away. But for
Yeah.
me, I wanted to savor the pain of the breakup. What's
Okay.
that, Martin? All right.
Parang masochist, no? Like
This
you
is
wanted to
me.
see it again. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that sounds the words too big though, too deep. All right, so probably yeah. My reason for that is in order for me to heal from something, I need to understand the reason why. I need to feel that pain. I do not
Mm.
want to run away from it. So that when I
Okay.
heal, I'm healed. And if I go back to that kind of feeling with that certain person or could be any other person, it's just an
Yeah.
experience and feeling. It's not anymore something traumatic. It's not anymore something that I am fearful of feeling. So when I broke up um, with my ex-lover, char. Guys, wag niyo sabihin sino siya.
May
Alright, so
nagko-comment ka dito, Cham. We're
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying hi. We're just saying hi.
yeah. So anyway, um, when
You're not
eh,
alone.
when we broke up, kasi it wasn't a decision of I don't love the person. It
Mm-hmm.
was more of a reason that I love the person too much. I cannot be with the same space with him anymore because I could not
Oh,
give love to that person, and I have to focus on myself. And I requested for that breakup as well. It was my I initiated the breakup. So and I am glad that
oh,
this person also allowed me to grow. I think we have this understanding and respect with each other. Like if we needed to fly on our own, it's the time that we have to let go of each other. But the closure that I needed took me a while also to really heal. Um, it was just actually, ano lang, recently lang na I felt na I'm okay. When I
wow. How
felt, how? Chika ko
how
ba
did
to?
Yeah, I'm curious. I could share how I got my closure. It won't necessarily make sense to everyone, but I'm
Yeah,
curious on the process. Like, how did it took how long, and then you finally got it? Like,
yeah.
how was it for you?
Okay, some people might, sa- based on my experience, I thought having closure is not talking to that person. Having
Oh,
closure is blocking him on Facebook, anything, even his friends I'm not communicating with. I thought that would
yeah,
really work. But for me, the closure I needed was to really give the love that I had in a different way so that it's not anymore in me. I don't know if it's making sense, but that's how
it does.
I felt
Yeah.
I felt closure when I know I have given everything to the I know pinaka-extent talaga na I know what love is for me. And I think this is a very interesting question. What is love for a guy and what is love for a woman? I think
Okay,
we
so
have different
side
understanding
question.
with that.
We can answer that because we're still on this question. And no worry, there's another question may baon
Mm,
dito.
mm,
On a lighter note, but yeah, to answer Cham, what is love for a guy? Because some of you might have heard stuff about like men are from Mars,
yeah.
women are from Venus, like that. But Cham, what you shared here about there are people who could relate. Jovi, Mavic over here, because you're mentioning this. So
That's why
first,
we're
before I
friends.
yeah, so they can relate with you. So this is weird. I don't know why we like, but I felt more of feminine in a guy. That's why I
Mm,
joke. I feel like a girl in a guy's body, and it's not really a mystery too. If people wonder why there's like high masculinity in women, it's because partly because of society. So in my school, Southridge, this all boys school, we were kind of encouraged to be nurturing, like
mm.
gentlemen, like
Oh.
hold the door for the girl, like that. So that's very feminine. No one said it that way to us, but it's like, put the woman first, like that. Masculine is like here. I'm looking for these comments of Mavic, Jovi. That's masculine energy. And that's good, by the way. I've only learned that in recent years. When I do me time, I have coffee by myself. Some people think I'm having coffee with a girl or a date. For me, it's harder for me to have coffee by myself. To not think
Mm,
like, oh, someone might see me, diba? I'm a loner, like that. So
mm,
that's masculine energy. It's also healthy in when it's balanced, no? So here, for Cham, whatever gender you are, whether you're LGBTQIA, like that, what I learned from Tony Robbins is we have both. We have
mm.
both polarities of masculine and feminine.
Yes.
So it's more of a one of my grade school teachers is watching. This is so cool.
Hello po.
So for the topic here, on relationships, yeah, a lot of the formation comes from when we're young and how we grow. So going back to Cham, what is love for a guy? I think it's also highly dependent on your programming or
Mm,
what you learned growing up. My
mm,
side, and I'm curious to know Cham's, was you're a guy, like on Valentine's, you buy her flowers, you buy her
mm,
chocolate,
mm,
you follow like what you're taught, like that.
mm,
So later on in university in college, love, the way I understood love was philosophy of the family. So it's as simple as just doing what is good for the other person.
mm.
So that helped me also let go because for all the women here or the girl side, would you stay in a relationship if you were not happy?
Depends.
Depends, right? You would fight for it. Would you stay in a relationship if it was not good for you?
It depends.
Depends. Like, what if he was a drug addict?
Okay. My answer that it depends. Why? Bakit it depends? Because for me,
Yeah.
relationship is always It's always a decision of two people. For me,
Okay.
it's always a decision of two people. So sometimes na-trigger ako pag when people had to decide on their own and do not even
Mhm.
consider the what do you call this, the situation of their partner. Parang wag na lang kayong pumasok sa relationship if magso-solo
Yeah,
trip lang pala kayo in life.
solo trip.
So,
I would like that.
I mean, it's good that you have your own personality as a person, but pag pumasok kasi tayo sa relationship, dinadamay kasi natin na another person, another being, another soul. So, for
Yeah,
me, love is also making sure that the person is well taken care of within your like containment, call that containment in your space, and you are also being taken care of by that person itself. Now, talking about like abuse, um,
mm,
if you're not happy in the relationship, yes, you can decide to leave on your own because your um, personal safety is at stake on that,
yeah,
right? So always prioritize yourself. But hindi natin maiiwasan if, especially if there's love and attachment within that relationship, we always want to also reach out and take care of that person. But if that person is not available and not even willing to go through the process with you of healing together, not just him or her, but to grow together, then it's time for you to bye bye, to leave. That's for me. So I think
yeah. That's
ano lang, I think at my personality, I'm really patient, nurturing. I don't just leave any relationship just because it's difficult. As much as I want to get to know that person at hindi talaga kaya, and if that person is not willing to reciprocate what I can give, so it's not. It's not a sad story. It's a good try, and we move on. Next, yun. Just kidding.
Ariana Grande, you know, because back then there was no thank you next there. When I was going through it, so yeah, I mean, a lot of people can relate, just by the comments here. So, just to answer that question, because I shared my side, what is love for a girl? If for a guy, I shared right. It's that what I said
Oh, hindi
stereotype.
ko pala na-answer. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, guy can be buying flowers, chocolate, uh, going on a date, spending time, acts of kindness, whatever, holding the door, whatever, ganon. How about for you?
Okay, so love can be very universal and love can be vague for everybody else. Love can be very um, genuine and very wholesome. All right.
Mm-hmm.
For me, love is really universal. It's it's a kind of experience, not even a feeling. It's an experience of of growth for an individual. Okay, you can experience that through religion, through experiencing feelings from the earth, from somebody. All right. But for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, love, let's focus more on romantic relationship para mas specific, because I can love my friends in a different level.
Yeah,
I, diba? So I can love my family different din yun. Unconditional love, love for God, that's different as well. If you notice me,
yeah,
I really want definition of things to be specific.
yeah. I can roll with that though. Like my mind works that way. It's more structured. So
Yeah, kasi nga agreement. So basic thing to know is definition of one thing. Who are you? What are you? And what is love for you? And
yeah,
can we like meet in the middle or learn to know each other's experience? Okay. So love for me is okay, in a romantic relationship, love for me is a happy feeling. Not no, I'm gonna change that. It's not a happy feeling, it's a joyful experience instead. All
okay.
right. Because happy is something different. Okay. It's a joyful experience with also with the mindset of growing together. So yeah.
Growing
So
together. Okay.
Yeah, growing together. So that's for me. So if I say growing together, that also entails effort, energy, um, energy, and also decision between the two of you in whichever path you want to take into. So if I think for the listeners, I think it's clear naman I'm really more on a long-term relationship. That's my definition of love. So if a guy comes to me offering me with, if they're not sure, they're uncertain, that's a no-no for me because it
Mm.
does not align with what my definition of love is. And I feel like that person will just last for 3 months, 2 months, and I cannot engage with that kind of energy because I'm
What?
looking forward for long-term relationship.
Yeah. What do you mean by certainty? That's actually a human need.
Mm.
No, I learned from Tony Robbins. But when a
Oh,
guy goes up to you, yeah, what's your definition of certainty? Because some will say, ah, he's confident, diba ganon? But ikaw,
okay, okay. I think this is an interesting topic for you guys because one of my ano din to like
it's
I'm
different. So,
hindi ko maintindihan with the guys about this one. Like
yeah, yeah.
we women are, I I quote women, not girls, not mga pa baby girls. We women would love to be assured about
Assured.
our safety. Okay, even though me and my friends are really like strong, independent women, but to be honest, we wanted to be taken care of. We wanted to
Oh,
be nurtured by a man, but only we will only submit. I okay, I'll tell about myself.
okay.
All
You
right,
will only submit.
I will only submit and take the man's lead if I feel that the man really wanted to protect me. And
Ah,
I don't know how to explain that, but there's just a
it's like an
kind of
habit.
feeling that yeah, hindi yung kind of like gesture na I'm gonna buy you flowers, I'm gonna send you food, I'm gonna um I'm gonna drive you around, or text you good morning, good night. Those are
Also, are you
those are
saying the
actions.
guy actions? Are you
Mhm.
saying that the guy is more emotionally solid, like
Mm.
more emotionally stable? That's what you're looking for.
Should I
Like that's
say,
your man.
mm, I
Because it's
cannot,
not the actions.
well, the actions will tell you if that person really wants you. I don't know. It's just probably because Martin, I'm more of an intuitive person. So
Intuitive. Okay.
yeah, so it's really more of the experience I feel when I'm with that person. So no matter if that person is really giving, even
Mm.
like I've experienced people like love bombing me, and I'm like, wait, wait, hold on, why are you doing that to me? It's not that I don't want to receive, but at an early
Mm-hmm.
stage, I find it a red flag
Wow.
for somehow. It's just for me. Maybe I'm the toxic one. But I find it red flag
Actually,
just
yeah,
because you don't even know me. Why would you
yeah.
shower me all those things? You're just impressing me of what you can
It
offer, but you're not really into the space of knowing me. I want you to know
correct.
me first. Yeah.
That's
So that
manipulative.
yeah,
Yeah, for a
yes it
guy.
is. So that I would know if you can handle me and give me that assurance and security that I needed in a space in order for me to become feminine and take your lead as a man. And I haven't met yet for that. Lord, but bigyan mo po ako ng joke.
You manifest it. You attract it if people don't like the law of attraction words. No, but
Mm,
Jovi can relate. She also articulated it just the way you said it. So your masculine energy will actually shift. Your feminine side comes out when what you just explained happens. So for guys also who just want to understand what Cham said, if you try buying her a drink or buying her gifts and you don't even get to know her, I didn't know this. I thought that's being nice, like a nice guy. That's actually very manipulative because it's like you're trying to exchange favors or being nice to just get in her pants
Transactional.
or yeah. And it's scary because for a guy to get to know a woman, really, like what Cham is saying, it takes more emotional um strength or maturity.
Mhm.
So, and you have to get in touch with your masculine and feminine side also. So people here are they can relate. Like a lot of the comments here, what you just explained, it's also what they can relate. Jovi, thank you for speaking for us. See, even see coach, like a lot of people here, you articulated it. The challenge here, I think, is a lot of guys. This is why I reached out to Cham. They don't understand the way women speak or feel or think like that. Yun. So I think the underlying thing, because I love the love languages also. Cham is
Yeah.
also coming like from like a deeper rooted place. Because I used to think acts of service or gifts or whatever. But Cham is saying like it's something else that you really have to understand the nature of the
Mhm.
woman. Okay. One thing, by the way, before we move forward, because there's another question here, is on the definition of love, I actually also agree with Cham at the end of the day that it is an experience. So, whatever words you come up as you evolve, like coexistence, the way I would say it is it's like we were just growing up. 1 year, 9 years, that shared experience where we did not kill each other, diba? We
Mhm.
didn't cut each other, like cut each other's throats. Because sometimes it gets ugly. And there are also times that it's really beautiful, like golden memories that like it's gonna burn in the back of your memory banks, right? So I can appreciate that. One thing Cham highlights, and this is something I'm trying to understand as a guy, is she keeps saying that you have to grow together. So as a guy, there are times we get kind of lazy. Like we'll just play video games, make out, have a good day, eat good food. We're good. Tapos sleep. Parang like a bear, like a hibernating bear in a cave or something. So it's like maybe that's why women exist to remind men to keep growing or
True.
evolving. And then why men exist for women, I don't know if it's to keep them stable. Because
Yes.
I think
To keep
women's
us
emotions,
to keep
yeah,
us
go
safe.
go Jam.
To keep us safe. Because I think
Safe.
women are naturally like overthinker, nurturing. Like that's why woman takes care of the children, the house, because it's on top of our mind. We can accommodate all those things in our head at one time. Like um all of that simultaneously or multitasking. Okay, well men, okay, you guys are more on focused based thinking, one at a time, which I
Yes.
think both genders should also understand the capacity of one person in order for you guys to thrive in a relationship. And I wish I could have had that understanding when I was in my relationship. It could have worked better, or better luck
Mm.
next time for now. So anyway,
Well, we're learning. Yeah. So not
yeah.
one thing I shifted is 9 years, 1 year, 5 years. Nothing is actually lost because all
Mhm.
of the experience is actually gained. It's like you're gaining XP in the terms of one of Smart would say. You're gaining experience points. So it's like if the man or the masculine side is the side that can go to war and die, that's a good
Mhm.
thing. Like no fear, right? In a good way. If you can be nurturing and take care of kids, right? Or you have a mentoring group, feminine energy, that's also really good. So we're both actually.
Yeah.
That's what I'm learning, right? So
Anyway,
moving
can I
forward,
share something? I think this is funny. So one
go
thing
Sham, go Sham.
siguro na nag-work yung previous relationship ko. This is my ex-boyfriend's motto in our relationship. Okay, so
Okay, I'm learning.
sinasabi niya, I'm listening to you, okay, but I'm not trying to understand you. period,
What
so
does
that
it mean? Yeah, what does
our
it mean?
relationship will move forward and will grow. It means to him that if he tries to understand me, my how
Ah,
complicated my
gotcha.
mind is, he would not understand it. So he rather like accept who I am and just be himself in the relationship. And I think that's the one thing
Yeah,
I really appreciate with him, because he just allowed me to grow as a person within the relationship as well. So it's not about
that makes
forcing
sense.
yourself to understand, but accepting the person of who they are and growing together, as I want to say, growing together and learning each other's bad and good side. Yun.
So your ex-boyfriend has wisdom there, because normally I'm a thinker, INTJ, like that. So I love understanding, but his example, the context is it's actually healthy detachment and
Mhm.
acceptance, it's healthy acceptance of you. Because the key word that Cham said here, and again, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, as Mavic said, is the wisdom there is sometimes you just listen to a girl and you don't have to force anything. You don't have to try to understand her. You don't have to try to fix her or something. Because sometimes it doesn't make sense in the moment, and that's okay. For a guy, I
Yeah.
don't know for Jam also if you can relate, sometimes that's frustrating
Mhm.
because you want to understand. You're like, no, I have to get it, right? We're not going to sleep until we fix it. Diba? One layer ship, diba? Like some heartbreak
Yeah.
warfare. But then sometimes, like what your ex-boyfriend said, and that's we're learning, that's actually a really good lesson too. So yeah, I got the lesson. Thank you for sharing that.
One
There's
more. I think it got also, I know, like for men, you guys are naturally overprotective or protective with for your woman or for your love of your life. Okay, so sometimes when
yeah,
we come up to you guys, we want to share. We just wanted to be taken care of, listened to. We don't want, if we come to you when we are ranting or sharing something, it doesn't mean that you guys need to solve any of our issues. Not until we say it directly, like I need help of this. So that's when you guys can help. So we just wanted to be listened to and feel your presence, and yeah, just presence and knowing that you guys will be there no matter what situation we are on, because we women also believe that we can handle things on our own, but having a romantic partner makes it more easy for us and boosting our trust to ourselves that I am okay because I have this person beside me to go through with, no matter chaos I go into. So yun lang, I think it's just affection that we really needed, not to solve our problem.
like I love that. Is it okay to add something to that,
Sure.
Cham? Because
Go
maybe
ahead.
it might help the ladies, the women, and the men too. I learned this from a coach or a mentor, and he's a guy, the guy side. So what Cham said is 100% true. So when a girl goes up to a guy, and again, whether you're in a relationship, friendship like that, one thing that would help I learned from this guy, this mentor, is he said this line, do you want me to listen or do you want me to
Mhm.
help? Like for a solution. So before the girl even starts ranting, he'll ask, hey, do you just want me to listen or do you want me to help with a solution? He'll ask it straight up. So if the girl's like, just listen, nah, 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 okay. The guy already gets it. He won't try to solve it. But if you
Mhm.
go up to a guy naturally, talagang he'll try
You'll
to
try. I think that's what
diba?
we need to learn also as a woman, to define things. I just need you to listen to me because I'm going through a hard day. I think yun. Kasi minsan we just go directly rant, and of course, nasa-shock yung mga guys about it, and they
Correct.
wanna for sure they want us to feel safe and comfortable, but hindi lang talaga nag-a-align yung communication of the two
Yeah.
individual.
Jovi just said it here, Sometimes you don't even ask. She just says it So that's part of the clear communication. Reminds me of a lesson of Coach Bam also, because it will be unrealistic expectations. If
Mm.
it's like, oh, how come you weren't listening? Did you say if you
Mhm.
wanted me to listen or if you wanted me to solve the problem? Like, treat every guy as stupid. I'm a guy. I'm a guy saying this. It's like very easy to be zero, and you will have a much more peaceful life. That's just the guy's side. Or we
I
can
used
learn from our
I
experience.
used to say that men are so stupid, but ngayon hindi na. Different na yung definition ko. Men are very simple. It's either they like or dislike something. No in between. So it should be clear. If they say maybe, it's a no. So yun lang.
Yeah,
Men
because
are
I used
simple
to think,
minded, and I really envy you guys because you're just focused. I hope I have that skill.
well,
I'm
we're
too.
learning from each other, just like now,
I
no?
am. I'm having fun as well.
So we're speaking of, because we gave an intro, we already defined relationships, even love on like a deeper level. For moving forward, this the last part, moving forward. Someone asked a question here because we've gone through our own share of experiences. So there's a question here. Cham, if you want to answer this,
What are
feel
your
like that.
thoughts about using dating apps to meet someone? Okay, so it really depends on you guys. What are your preference? So sabi ko nga kanina, it's really hard to meet people to date with that will match with my values and my personality. So I've
Yeah,
tried. I'm trying now actually because in the modern age you also need to adapt, right? And then
yeah.
minsan yung mga guys magtatanong, "What are you doing here?" So I would
Mm.
say, "I'm just lurking and checking where are the dating men are
Uh,
hiding." Because I can't find them in the real world. Okay, so there's nothing wrong if you use dating app. If it works for you, then it go. For me, it does not. I believe that the person I wanna match up with is out there doing some great work, helping other people, doing some charity work, probably praying at church or drinking coffee, but not on dating app. For now,
oh,
no,
have you
it's a
ever
no.
tried back
I
then?
did, I
What
did.
was that? Tinder, Bumble? Oh, I don't know what it
Are
was.
you did?
Yeah, but you first. I can share after you.
All right. So I tried just for the sake of curiosity because, of course, as a person who loves to learn, I need to get myself involved in there. So I tried Facebook dating app, and
Oh,
I met someone. All right. So it was it was fine until like I have to reject that person when I'm because I cannot play around. Like, I'm sorry, it does
yeah,
not work for me because I, I would know as a person if the person will really work for me or not. But then he said,
yeah.
"Can we just be friends?" And until now, we communicate, but like I have to like set the boundaries. Hey, you're hitting on me again. We're just friends here. And I stopped doing that, engaging on dating apps. And
Was he
then
a scam?
recently, no, he wasn't a scammer. He's really good.
Okay.
That's what I told you about love bombing because he's so kind, so gentle. So
Yeah.
like when we cross the street, he always go where the the car is.
Danger aside, yeah, gets.
Um, very gentleman, but it's just not my my thing as a cham.
Okay. So do you want like the detailed version or just the short version? Because on this question,
Which one?
about dating apps.
Okay. As what I've mentioned, it really depends on you guys. If it works for you, good. If it does not, find somewhere else. Meet other people. I think it goes also with clear intention. What do you want? Because some people just want to date because they want to hook up. They want to fill in their gaps. But for me, I wanted to look for a person where I can give my love into because I have so much to give because I'm a nurturing person. So Dating apps does not work for me. Do not work for me. Unfortunately, I think I'm from a different planet.
So thank you for sharing, Cham. I think this is so far. You guys, just if you want to ask one last question, one or two, because we actually hit the 1 hour mark, and I'm just flowing, Cham. So no problem. No. Comment down below if you have any last question. So we'll answer what you ask. So here, I'll also answer. To be fair, the Cham, her answer was really good for this. Dating apps, I would be so against it. Uh, because I don't know as far as calculated risks go, right? Like, does that even work? So 2014, my long story short answer is I don't want to do it. So one of my guy friends said, "Why don't you try? Like you'll never know unless
Mhm,
you try." Which is related to, making an effort or putting yourself out there. So back in 2014, it was Tinder. And this was late. Like if the relationship moving forward, like it ended January 2014. This was like around October already, like October that year. So I matched with some girls, like you swipe,
mhm.
and I met up with one actually. As in, we met up BGC area, and it was one of the scariest
Wow, why?
experiences of my life because I'm a hypochondriac. I mean,
Mhm,
I'm super
mhm,
OC. I don't want to get an STD like that. No.
mhm, mhm.
And if you want the short version, not detailed, it was really wild. Like it was wild, grabe. Like if normally use protection, this was wild, diba? Unfortunately, I think I'm still healthy. I
That's
think.
good. That's good to know, Martin.
So what Cham is saying, in hindsight, when you do it, what was your intention? Because that will also set the expectations. You won't get frustrated, you won't feel bad. Because after like around a month, it just ended.
Mhm,
So this is the guy side. So after like hooking up, sleeping over, it's like I started sending her these YouTube songs,
mhm.
right? Like music videos. And then the way she ended it, she just messaged me like uh text, or it wasn't WhatsApp, something like that. She just messaged, "This is getting weird. Can we stop talking?"
What?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can get how I felt, right?
Mm.
So
That's
being
good.
the very masculine man, diba, moving forward, I got hurt. So I got
Uh,
hurt pa rin. But then it was
mhm,
just like a month's time. So it was nothing compared to 9 years, diba, like what I was going through. So what Cham said is, yeah, be clear with your intention. I'm not against it if you want to try. But then if you're looking for something else, and in hindsight, sorry, moving forward, to answer the question is try it. If it works, you got what you were looking for. If it doesn't, because I have a batchmate who actually met his wife through Tinder or through a dating
mhm.
app. So maybe it might work for you, no?
Yeah.
So for me, I found like there was a deeper hole or trauma or roots that needed to heal.
Mhm,
So if not, I would just keep repeating the same pattern or cycle. So again, you could try dating apps, might work for you. If there's something deeper that you have to fix, then I got into personal development, shadow work, trauma healing, all that stuff. So that's how I would answer it. So Cham's answer was really good also.
oh, and sometimes dating apps are so exhausting. Like, hindi mo lang siya napapansin, like, after an hour, you have to sift and to parang to check all the application application form, all the likes,
I
and it's so exhausting.
I
Like,
have
I don't have
another tip
time.
pala, Cham. Yeah, for
Mm,
dating apps to like wrap up that question.
go
So
ahead.
I'm learning a different approach. So excuse me, this is coming from a life insurance agent who does sales, push
Mm,
sales. Kasi you really have to push to sell life insurance. Most people don't want it. It's not like ice cream on summer. So one thing I learned is instead of like pushing for that, like dating apps, you could just try to develop yourself. So it's
True.
more of a pull attraction strategy. Become a high value man, high value woman. If you don't like those terms, become the best version of yourself. And then what Cham said, when you have a clear intention, this is a bonus because it's the dating app thing. I attended Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, December 2020, so almost 4 years ago. You can also come up with a relationship vision. So when you write down that relationship vision, it's not like a shopping list lang like what Cham is like, I
Mm,
want this intelligent guy or like that. Subconsciously, 3 years later, almost 4 years moving forward, what will happen is you'll have to become the person to
true.
deserve that. If Cham says, I want a guy who's intelligent, like mature like that, oh, she best become a motherfucking mature woman that's intelligent also. Because you're not gonna deserve that. I'm
True.
not saying that in a
True.
belittling way. It's like, diba, if you want to become rich, you're gonna have to do things to earn money or to build your wealth, or you get what I mean.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
becoming
agree.
the best version of yourself. And this is
Yeah,
why we're doing this, by the way, because sometimes for a guy, they might think the best version of myself is I'm just gonna sleep at home and I'm good, diba? And you have no idea that success or becoming the best version of yourself looks like Tony Robbins or other mentors who you might look up to, right? Like you thought you were a hard worker and then you discover Michael Phelps, diba?
agree.
Or even locally, si Kaloy, the weightlifter, Olympic, like two
Mm,
gold medals, right? Carlos Yudo. So you're like, I'm not a hard worker, pala. So this is why we're sharing this, our experience and perspective on relationships. So that's why we did this. You get the girl side and the guy side. So before we wrap up, Cham, we already hit the 1 hour
one
mark
hour.
here. And people ask really good questions. Moving forward, the final part here is, I guess it's advice for people on the topic of relationships or tips from everything that has happened. What would you do differently? Or because we're evolving, what if someone has never been in a relationship, or and then they don't know what to do, or someone got burned and maybe like Cham, right? It's like you feel like you might not ever be in a relationship for a long time. What would you tell that person, or what would you share with them?
Okay, I'm gonna tell myself as well on this one. So for you guys, just trust your guts. I think that's what I will say. If you're ready to date, then you're ready to date. But always prioritize yourself in the process. Learn to discern what's good and bad. Do not be in a relationship just because you're lonely or you need someone to fill in the void in yourself. I agree as well with what Martin mentioned, like be the best version of yourself. I think the best relationship we guys would have is our relationship to ourselves. And I think that's where I'm coming from, not because I am needy of someone to be beside me, to be my partner, to do whatever about life. It's because I am learning to fall in love with myself after the experiences I had with my previous relationships. So I think the first thing that you should do is to make yourself um, something that you want to be you, and you accept. Because if you are needing assurance, validation from somebody else, you're just going to fail in, on that. So that's what I wanna say, Martin.
That's that's solid, Cham. Like again, I
Thank
didn't
you.
expect what Cham would share, and that's really helpful for anyone who has never been in a relationship, or maybe you're taking a break, right? A long break. So mine, just to wrap up this live with Cham and I over here, and you got comments over here from Mavic, everyone else watching the live and the replay, thank you. So what I would share for this moving forward, just to end the live, is it might be the opposite of Cham, but some parts I guess would be almost identical as well. So I would say I have no regrets in the relationships that I got back in first year, second year high school. And how it happened was I was just, it's like I'm a sleeping bear here in the room. This girl, like one of it was like a Halloween party. There used to be Halloween parties here in the village. I
Mm-hmm.
was pulled out of my cave or my room. And then what happened was I discovered the world of women, like, or what it was like to be on the other side. So where I'm coming from is sometimes as a guy, the biggest life lessons you're gonna learn are from a woman. Like they're gonna teach you a side of life that you couldn't discover just by yourself. It aligns with what Cham was sharing on growth, because I think that's what women do. Like they're gonna make you grow, whether you like it or not. And again, not to sound controversial, even when things are so perfect and stable, sometimes they're gonna like rock the ship. Like a problem's gonna magically pop up, right? Like Jack Beanstalk or something like that. It's gonna sprout out of nowhere. But the good thing though, not I'm not sharing that out of fear, is once you develop yourself, it just becomes like an exercise. It's just like you're both growing together. And one thing I want to assure women with as a guy is you will never run out of problems. That's just how life works.
Mm-hmm.
Like something's gonna happen, diba? It's gonna rain
True.
tomorrow, like that.
True.
Like, diba? There's gonna be traffic in Manila, or even in Cebu sometimes in the city. So, and then the last thing I guess I would share is someone who's taking a break, like what Cham said. If you have to find yourself, that's another lesson I learned from the 9 year relationship. One of the biggest lessons was, can I even have coffee by myself? Deeper meaning of that is, can I live life on my own and have peace and be happy? Can I be complete by myself? Because I didn't know what codependence, but like, and we're taught that growing up. I can't live without you. It's that shit's
Mm.
that can kill you. That
It
can
does.
kill you if you just believe it without understanding the truth, right? So that's a big lesson that I'm learning currently. And then from a place where you're whole or complete, you can end up sharing that. So I just wanted to share that because the lesson is universal. Even Ken Honda, because I attended this National Achievers Congress, when it comes to money, that's also how it works. It's not bad to be selfish.
Mm.
Build your wealth. It's like a fountain. Then whenever it overflows, share from the overflow. Your
True.
love, your self-esteem, your self-worth, you can do that. So all we did today was just we were sharing the perspective of a girl because it could be very different. And the perspective of a simple guy, which could be very different. Yet you still learn a lot from each other, right?
I
So
did.
yeah. So Mavic said, "You fill your cup first." Now, again, whether it's romantic or love, whether it's money, whether it's even your health, because by the way, maybe people can relate as we get older. We see people, and if I can't take care of my health, I learned this from Lewis House, super recent interview that I learned. I can't take care of you if my health is not good. And lastly,
True.
because there are four quadrants, if you also fill your cup spiritually. So maybe we
True.
might have missed that, right? Again, whatever your religion is, or if you believe in the universe or like a higher power, also don't forget to fill your cup spiritually. For me, it was discovering my mission, like my purpose in life. As a girl, curious before we end this, what does it mean,
Mhm.
Cham, for a girl to like fill herself spiritually?
Okay, to fill my okay, I'm gonna say it in Cham's way, in my
Yeah.
experience again. All right, so for me to fill my to reach for for the spirituality that I aspire to be in, or my goal, it's really more about my relationship with God. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
it's, if I say relationship with God, it does not mean about being too technical, like going to church on Sunday, listening, reading the Bible. No, it's not. It's about how it's about my relationship as well with God, like how comfortable I am talking with Him, taking His lead on my life. All right, so I think recently ko din na ano na realize to. Okay, so all right, so just gonna tell a story just to give a little background about it.
Yeah.
So when my mom died, 2021, okay, that's when I met you guys on PNAS. I felt so lost, and I did not go to church anymore. I lost my relationship with the Lord. I used to be dependent or have a good relationship with the Lord prior to it. But when I lost my mom, it was really bad for me. Like I kept myself away from everything. Even like I do not believe on God anymore. Like I pray, but there's lacking in myself about it. But recently I felt like just this year, I felt the love of God just because of the love of people around me. Like, oh my God, God is really giving. God is really great. God really loves me. And that, I think that's where I'm coming from. When you look at me, my photos 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I look like a mess. But this year, I felt God's presence because I allowed people to really love me unconditionally. And I think that's something I feel like when I have this kind of satisfaction and assurance within me and my God, I can give more to others. And so that's,
Wow.
I think, what the spirituality for me is. Masyadong
Yeah.
mahaba, but yun na yun.
Oh, I got the message already. So what a solid way to end, because I'll just, affirm what Cham shared, because again, I totally agree. And ironically, I did not grow up super religious, meaning it was shoved down my throat, but then I hated it. I resented it. So, like what Cham shared, I started to see God in people. This was in 2016. And it's like that feeling when someone gave a shit when you were a mess. When
Mhm.
I felt worthless, I was a nobody, and somebody saw like I could become $1 million round table. Because normally people will only treat you well once you have proven
True.
the results like that. So what Cham shared, I totally believe in. Anyone watching this live or the replay, if you are feeling like a mess, like you don't look, oh look, Cham looks, she looks good already, diba? She's glowing, she's made up. And Martin looks like he just woke up, but he still looks good, diba? Because he's shaved. But you're looking like yeah, but you feel like, I feel so ugly like that. We actually went through that, and Cham, I hope you don't, but it's like through the loss of her mother, right? And we have our own version of that. So spiritually, why I love this ending is I believe that once you heal a deepest part of yourself, everything else will get
Follows.
affected also. I
True.
believe that the roots create the fruits. Or T. Harv Eker, a mentor, he says, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So I'm very hopeful for Cham because one of the things I also learned in my date with Destiny, as I was reflecting, was in the relationship vision was if I meet a woman and she actually has acceptance of death because of something you've been through, or it's just your understanding, not out of fear, but you just understand this is life, right? The Stoics say memento mori, remember that you're gonna die one day.
Mm-hmm.
So they have peace with it, what you just shared. So I believe everything else good will follow from that, even in your relationships. Maybe this is why we were able to do this live, even. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I met Cham in 2022, you felt, if it's okay to just share this
Sure, go
feedback,
ahead. Hmm.
yeah, you felt fragile.
I was.
There- Yeah, there was a moment like I hugged you, and I'm again not very touchy. I'm kind of awkward actually. So like in that moment, I was like, "Whoa!" Like I don't want to hurt you. You're going through something like that. So it's okay, I guess, when you're around the right people. Because when we're damaged, we don't want to get broken even more. But when you're around the right people and you've grown so much, wow! Like I think, yeah, from this point moving forward, it just looks really good. That's what I
Can,
see.
can I add on that? I think may pumasok na
Go
sa
before
brain
we
ko.
end.
Okay, when you're broken, guys, don't think na you're gonna hurt other people. Think it
Mm,
as an opening for you to let the love and shine come into you. I think yun yung nangyari sa akin. When I felt so broken, I felt like I'm going to damage a lot of people. I don't want to be with them because I want to give love and I'm broken. I cannot give love. But the only thing that healed me was to accept and to receive. And that's it. I think the most important thing about love and relationship here that we're talking about, Martin, and I think I got this because of this ending of this talk
yeah,
is build your relationship with your inner self and God. If that works
yeah.
for you guys, I think that really what transpired me and really helped me in being happy right now. Got
Thank you,
it.
Chad. That's a super good ender. And again, what Cham said, I won't just agree. I'm actually going through as well. So even if you check out the Real Talk Lifeline channel, the YouTube channel, maybe it's like 100 subscribers. It's pretty lonely there, like what Cham is saying. When you feel broken and you're going through it by yourself, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Maybe one day 1,000 people, 100,000 will actually see and value. And yeah, we love all of you people watching this. Before I end, Cham, if it's okay, I just want to acknowledge everyone
Sure,
watching
go
here.
ahead.
So Jovi, yeah, Mavic, MJ,
Mavic, MJ,
these are people, your friends, yeah.
Januel.
There you
See,
go. Also, I won't forget, there's this person who kept asking questions, your coach,
Coach Hench, I love you, best
Coach Han.
friend.
Yeah. So all these people watching the live, we super appreciate your support. We see your reactions also. Of course, also here, Ivy.
Coach Ivy, I love you too.
There you go,
Dami kong
Ralph.
fans. Architect
Yeah,
Ralph.
Ralph.
Thank you, Coach
Architect
Elaine.
Ralph. So all of these, uh, yeah, super appreciate all your support, your love that you've shown. Also, people watching the replay, because we didn't catch everyone, of course. We appreciate that too. And I just want to end on that note. Also, for Cham to put herself out there, even with what you're going through right now, I can totally relate. So we had no idea what would happen. So I believe what just happened on the topic, related to the topic, is we just ended up being a reflection
Mhm.
of really who we are inside. And maybe that's a sign, or maybe that's just feedback, right? And hopefully, all of this sharing helps someone out there as well. So that's it, Cham.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Martin. Thank you guys for watching.
We love you, and we will see you next time.
Time. Bye.